Hello, we're back, and as you remember, we're making pickles, right? So I have cut up all my cucumbers, and I've done them a variety of different ways. Some of them I've cut like spears, and I took on some of them a little bit of the seeds off of the top because I think that the seeds could make them a little bit mushy. So we're going to try and keep these with just a little bit of the seeds off them. I've also cut some quite thick, and those are just the pickles that we're going to be using for munching on. And then I cut some quite thin because these are the ones that I want to go on my sandwiches, and some of them are thinner than others. I'm not as good of a cook as my daughter is, so I don't cut as evenly as she does, but as you can see, they're all different shapes and sizes. Now, we are going to do different shapes together so that they all come out the same. All right, my water is just about boiling here. Let's see if I can give you a shot of that. Oh, it's boiling. So we're going to be able to go ahead and put our jars right in that water to sterilize them for 5 minutes. And we'll be back. I have gotten all of my glass jars out of my pot, and they're sitting on a clean towel. All my lids, all my utensils, everything has been sterilized that I'm going to be using. So let's go ahead and wait for those jars to cool, and then we can begin packing them with all of our ingredients. We'll be back in just a minute. Hi, we're back, and we're ready to pack our pickles. So we're going to start, now that my jar is cool enough to touch, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the Asian flavor pickles first. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and chopped up some garlic and some ginger, and we know we want to put that in. So let's drop a few cloves of garlic in. I like them a little garlicky, so we'll put in a few more. And then we're going to put in the ginger. So that is going to be the base of what we're using, but we're going to add in some more spices as well. So let's go ahead and drop in a couple of onion or a slice of onion. Add a little bit of dimension to it. And now let's go ahead and add in some of the rest of our ingredients. And the star of my ingredients is going to be, that was a little play on words in case you didn't pick up on it, is the star anise. This is available in most Asian grocery stores. It has a wonderful smell, almost like licorice and cinnamon. It's a wonderful little spice. We're just going to put one of these in. Oh, maybe two. We'll go for a small one, a broken one. All right, so now we have our star anise in there. Let's go ahead and add in a few more ingredients. Remember, most pickling recipes are going to call for salt. So we're going to put in a little bit of salt. I'm using sea salt. We are going to also add in a little ground ginger, just because I had it on hand. We don't put too much in there. We don't want it to be over gingerly. And then a little bit of garlic salt as well. All right. Now, I'm also going to add in some hot Asian peppers. I got these when I ordered some takeout Asian food and held on to them. They were spicy hot. So we're going to just put in a little bit of that to give our pickles some interest. All right. And we said we were going to use some soy sauce. I've never used soy sauce in pickles before. Why not? Let's give it a shot. I put in just enough to coat the bottom of my vegetables. I don't want to overdo it with the soy sauce. All right, next we're going to put in our pickles, and then we'll add in our water and our vinegar. All right, which pickles should we use for these? I think we should do some spears. Let's do some of the spears in here, in the Asian spice. I'm going to pack my pickles in. Now, I'm told that the pickles should not come up over that edge of the lip. So we're going to be careful not to make sure we don't do that. All right. Since this is an experiment, I'm not going to add in any more than that. We're going to give it a try and just see if that's enough. Normally I would pack them really tight, but again, it's an experiment, so I don't want to waste too much. Now let's go ahead and fill the jar half with vinegar. I'm going to use the white vinegar. And then the other half, a little bit more, I'm going to fill with water. So we'll put water into here, and then we will be done with that one. And that will be the Asian spice. So we'll do all our water at the same time so that we can just continue on with making some of these other pickles. All right, let's go ahead and make another flavor, shall we? I'm going to get another jar. Another one of my clean jars. And in this one, again, we're going to add in some onion because we like that onion flavor in there. And I always like garlic, so we're going to go ahead and drop a few cloves of garlic in there as well. And I think we're going to make these maybe sweet and spicy. So let's use some red pepper. Red pepper flake. We can drop in a bay leaf. These have not been opened yet. Drop in a bay leaf or two. Now, I had some chili powder. You can use a little bit of that if we want. I also have this smoky chipotle powder somewhere here. Chipotle pepper. So we could put a little bit of that in there. It could be interesting. I don't want to put too much. I don't want to make it overly smoky. Now, I'm also going to add in some onion powder. And I'm going to do something very non-traditional with this one. I'm going to add in some pre-pickled jalapenos. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't have any fresh jalapenos. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a few of those. Won't hurt anything. But I want the heat from those pickles, from those jalapenos, to end up in this sweet, hot mix that I'm making. All right. I put in about 2 tablespoons of those. That should be plenty. All right, I'm also going to add into this one a little tiny bit of this pickling spice, only because I have it on hand. It's probably some of the things I've already used in there, but I'll just put a little bit in so that we'll have it. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my pickles in on this one. And for these, I think we're going to do the regular pickles, the ones that are made for sandwiches. Pop those in. And remember, they're going to be sweet hot, so I got to give them a little bit of sugar as well. Let's get my sugar. And I'm going to add in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heaping teaspoons of sugar, just to balance the vinegary taste that we're going to add to these. All right, for these, I'm going to try the cider vinegar. Why not? This is an experiment. It's supposed to be fun, right? So again, we're going to fill about halfway. And then the other half we will fill up with water when we're ready. All right, we still got a few more that we can make here, so let's go ahead and grab our jars, decide what we want to do with these. Got 2 more jars to work with. Again, starting with onion and some garlic. I think I'll use my thicker pickles in this one. But let's go ahead and make this one a little bit more traditional. I have some dill. So we'll put some dill in here. And some pickling spice. I add a little more pickling spice than I did to my other. And let's go ahead and drop in a bay leaf, which is already in my pickling spice, I'm sure. And some salt. Oh, did we not put salt in the other one? Let's put some salt in that one too. There we go. All right. And let's for these, my husband likes these. He likes them crunchy, so we're going to use the big crunchy pickles. We'll pop those in there. The thicker ones that I cut. There we go. And now let's fill this with white vinegar. Halfway. And then we'll fill the rest up with water. There we go. And we still have some more to make. And you see, I'm going to have cucumbers left over, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one more that we're going to put up. And these are going to be the spears. And for these, I'm going to do, I have some shallots that I had bought a while back, and they're kind of sticking to the bottom. So we're going to use shallots in this one. Why not? And we can get rid of those. And we're going to put in a little bit of garlic. We're going to put coriander seeds in this one, just to be different. And this is the fun of making pickles, is you can do whatever you want, right? So we're going to put that coriander in there with that garlic. The coriander is going to smell fabulous, and it's going to go very nicely with that shallots that we added. All right, so we've already got our garlic in here. Let's add in our onion. And I had this little bit of green tomato from my garden that wasn't going to ripen, so I'm going to pop the green tomato in there. Why not? This is all an experiment. It's supposed to be fun. Cooking is fun, right? That's why we love food. It's fun to taste. It's fun to work with. And I'm just going to make sure that those spears are low enough in this jar. We'll go ahead and get those in there. All right. Now those are in there. Is there anything else we want to add to that one? A little celery seed, right? We got coriander seed, we'll put some celery seed in there too. All right, now let's fill this one up with our white vinegar. Halfway. And then we can put that in the water. All right, so as you can see, we have a lot left over, and we're going to make fridge pickles with these. What that means is that we don't have to prepare those jars. Those are the ones that we can put in the refrigerator, and we have to eat them within 3 weeks. And that's all well and fine, because I've got some friends that are getting together, and we're going to do a pickle tasting. Doesn't that sound like it would be an awesome time? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my water in the other half of these jars, and then we're going to put them back into that hot pot, lowering them down with our basket. Remember, we have this little basket. We're going to be very careful and then lower them into the pot. And then we're going to cook them again for 5 minutes. And when we're done with that and we get them out, I'll come back one more time because I want to show you what's important about making sure that you've cooked them and processed them properly. Okay, so we're back. And here we have our finished product. The one right to the right of me is the traditional, followed by the second one, which is the Asian, the third one, which is the hot, and the fourth, which was just a total experiment. I want to thank you. What we're looking for, and why I wanted to show you this, is that we are looking for a little indent on the top of the jar. And it's kind of hard to see, but if you zoom in at the right angle, you'll see right in the middle there's a little dimple. There's one on that jar. I don't see one on this jar yet, but that doesn't mean they're still cooling, so it doesn't mean that they're not. That one definitely has it. You can see right above the word ball, there's a little dimple started on the can. So 2 of my jars have it. This one does not have it. On this one, I'm going to say might be starting, but I'm not sure. So what that means is these 2 are going to be safe to preserve. My Asian and my hot are going to be good for preserving. Now, if I don't get a dimple for my experiment or for my traditionals, what we will do is we will simply make them refrigerator pickles. So nothing goes to waste. I'll be able to share those along with the others that I made to share with my friends for our pickle tasting. All right, great. I want to thank you for staying with us for another episode of For the Love of Food. We hope that you've enjoyed this and learned something, and hopefully the pickles came out fabulous. We'll know in a couple months. Bye.